All right, y'all, what's up? We are here. We are finally here for the Olympics. Track and field, better known, well, that's what it's better known as. But to track and field, us community, we know what this is. This is athletics. Athletics coverage. We are finally here, day one. What I'm going to cover for day one is the 100 for the women. I'm going to touch on a little bit of the 800. I'm really into the sprint events. That's my bread and butter. I'm going to talk a little bit about the shorter distance events, but more so just the sprint events, the hurdles. That's what we're getting into. And we're going to talk about the women's 100 heats today. We're going to talk a little bit about that mixed 4x4, which was tough. But we had a great day one for athletics in the Olympics, and we're about to get into it. So please, thumbs up the video. Please drop your comments down below on what your thoughts were on day one. Predictions for tomorrow's 100 semis and the finals for the women, and then we got the heats for the men. So we're going to talk about today, though. Today. So let's get on into it, because you're going to see me every single day the next week and a half. So let's go. All right, so we start off with the first heat of the women's 100 meters. And in the first heat, we got America's favorite, like Sha'Carri Richardson. This is our top girl in the 100 meters. This is our biggest bet to get gold in the 100. America, we ain't had no woman win gold. Shoot, I can't tell you the last time a woman has won gold in the 100 meters at the Olympics. Like the past 2 years, it's been locked up by Elaine Thompson-Herah in both the 1 and the 200. And we all know she's not gonna be in the Olympics this year because she had gotten injured. Which is so sad, because I love watching her run. It would have been great to see her defend her titles, because she had those two locked up the last two Olympics. So we're going to have a new winner in the 100 and the 200 for the first time in 2 Olympic games. Sha'Carri got out there. This is her Olympic berth. This is her first time running in the Olympics. She was supposed to be there back in 2020. We know what happened. There's no need to continue to bring that up. We are in present day. Sha'Carri looked ready. Sha'Carri looked like she meant business. And she got out there and did it. Like, yes, she didn't have the perfect start. She did get out the blocks, step to the right instead of going straight forward, getting out the blocks. But hopefully she'll be able to clean that up. Maybe I'm going to put that up to jitters. But regardless, she still looked like Sha'Carri. Like, by like 40 meters, she was already top. Like, she was there. Like, it didn't really do too much to make us really doubt her when it comes to the next 2 rounds, because she ran 10.94. She had a little bit of a tailwind, a little bit, not even much. It's 0.1, and she ran 10.94, and she was cruising home. The knee lift speaks for itself. Like Sha'Carri, textbook. Like she runs better. Like her form is literally top tier. That's what you show when you get into your top end speed. The way she runs, the knee lift. There's nothing behind her, shoulders straight up. Like, she runs like a perfect textbook track and field athlete. And that's what she did. 10.94. Van der Wecken, she was second with 11.14. Sha'Carri, that's all we really cared about. And she cruised on through 10.94. I think that was the 4th or 5th fastest time of the day. We're going to move to who I feel is going to be her biggest challenge to win that gold medal, which I don't really feel like is that big of a challenge. I feel like Sha'Carri's got it locked up. I do. But if anybody's going to challenge her, it's Julien Alfred. She was in the second heat. She was the only thing in this heat that we really were not even worried about, just the only thing in this heat that we were looking forward to be completely honest. I'm speaking about myself, but I feel like everybody else feels the same way, because she's the only big name in this heat besides Zoe Hobbs, but like she's not on the same level as Julien. Julien, like Sha'Carri, she meant business. Like, she got out there. Julien always being like zoned. She be zoned out, and she don't know what's going on. She was in lane 9, so she was just doing her, running her own. She got out the blocks really, really nice. She cruised home. She ran 10.95 into a negative 0.8. So her doing that and cruising, like she got off the gas at like 90. And she was cruising home. Looked super, super, super comfortable, super good. It's not really much to talk about. I feel like she's definitely going to be in the probably fighting for the gold, but probably really realistically in the silver medal position, if you ask me. She's not leaving out of here without a medal. And she's very likely going to get one in the 2, too, if you ask me. But look great. We're going to now move to heat number 3. Heat number 3 had Daryll, Neita, and Melissa Jefferson. Those are the 2 in this heat that we were looking at, and these are the 2 that delivered. Daryll Neita, she was running this like low-key like it was a final. We'll see if that's going to bite her in the ass later on. But the way she ran perfectly. Like, she ran textbook, knee lift. She was like, Daryll from start to finish was a perfect race. And she ran 10.92. They had 1.5 tailwind, so they was running with some good wind. Melissa Jefferson, she was out in lane 9. And Melissa, her drive phase, it looked like she came up a little bit too quick. And you could tell, like, coming home, she was pushing it home, which I'm pretty sure Dennis Mitchell is not going to be happy about that. But she didn't look bad, per se. I feel like she definitely looked better at trials than what she did here, which I'm going to chalk it up to nerves. Like, this is her first time at the Olympic Games. But I don't feel like she looked bad. I feel like she's definitely going to clean that up in the semifinals. We'll see if she makes it to the finals. I feel like she will. But we'll see. But those two looked really, really good. We're going to move to heat number 5. Heat number 5 had Swoboda and Dina Asher-Smith. Those two were the two that we knew would be the top two of this heat, and that's what they were. They were pretty much neck and neck the entire time. Swoboda runs out, and she runs every race like a final. Like, most people think, oh, well, she should have saved a little bit more, but she runs like that all the time. And if you run consistently like she runs, where it's essentially like a final, because she never has, in my opinion, I don't feel like she has a drive phase. She always hops out the blocks and is already standing up, and she books it home. And she's a 60-meter specialist, so that's not shocking, her getting out. But she finished strong. Dina got out, and she finished, and she kind of got off the gas a little bit towards the end. Swoboda won that heat 10.99, one flat, so they was just running with a nice little tailwind. Dina ran 11.01. Solid runs from both of those girls. We move on to heat number 6 with TT Terry and Shashley Forbes. These two look good. They look good. They ran into a -0.4. TT ran 11.15. She looked really good. She looked really good. And she came off the gas too coming home. So I'm really excited to see what TT's going to do in the semifinals, because she ran 10.8 at the finals to get on the team. She's looking better than she has all season. So I'm looking for her to pretty much do something really, really good. We're going to see. We're going to get into these semifinal heats, but she looked great. She looked really good. Let's talk about heat number 8, where we got the two vets, the OGs, the legends. We got Marie-Josée Tyloo Smith and the queen, Shelly and Fraser Pryce. This I was excited about because Shelly was supposed to race back. Where were they at? I feel like they was in Luzerne a couple weeks, maybe, yeah, a couple weeks ago. And she was supposed to run, but she did not run. So I was like, what's going on? Is she injured? Like, is there a reason as to why she pulled out? And I was really anticipating what she was going to look like running here. And she looked amazing. She looked amazing. She got out the way she normally does. Well, I won't say she got out the way she normally does, because normally she'd be like the first 40, maybe the first 60. She is really away from everybody. Here she was still pulling away. She was just a little bit more reserved. And you could tell she was more reserved. Like, it's strategy. The way she ran that particular heat, it was strategy. She was not really exerting much. And you could tell she still had so much more to give. And for her to run 10.92 legal with 0.8 win, like, that's scary. We talking about Shelly. We talking about the queen. She got some, I'm saying about 10.7. I can see 10.7 in there. Maybe a 10.6. The way she ran that, she looked good. Tyloo was the opposite. You could tell she was really pushing it too. Probably the first 85. She kind of took off the gas towards coming home. But she ran 10.87. That's the fastest time all day. Her and Shelly were the top two going into the semifinals. Let me give you the top. This is the top, maybe 6, 7. We got Tyloo, like I said, 10.87. Shelly, 10.92. Daryll Neita, 10.92. Sha'Carri, 10.94. Julien, 10.95. Audrey LeDuc, 10.95 of Canada. Melissa Jefferson, 10.96. And Swoboda, 10.99. That's all the sub-11s in the heats. The girls are looking good. Everybody essentially looks really, really good to me, if you ask me. So I'm very, very excited to see with these semifinals, because I think I have the semifinal heats that we got here to start list. Okay, so in semifinal number 1, we got Melissa Jefferson versus Dina Asher-Smith versus Swoboda versus Shashley Forbes versus Marie-Josée Tyloo. That is going to be tough, because the only top 2 go on to the finals. Looking at this list and looking at how they performed, Tyloo is going through to that final. I feel like Tyloo's probably going to win that. I feel like Melissa Jefferson is going to come second. And it's going to be a battle for time with Dina and Iwa. We're going to see. That's going to be rough. But the fastest semifinal, which I find crazy that they stuck all three of these women in the same heat, I think it's crazy. But this is by far going to be the best and the fastest semifinal. Is semifinal number 2. We got Sha'Carri in semifinal number 2. We got Shelly in semifinal number 2. And we got Julien Alfred in semifinal number 2. That's going to be the fastest. That's going to be the fastest semifinal. So, depending on who... They could pull a couple of these girls to fast times, which could threaten somebody in the other heats. But this one, I'm not even going to pick a winner. I'm not even going to pick a winner. Because it really depends on who gets out right. If Sha'Carri... That's the thing. If Sha'Carri, and I was about to say, if she gets a subpar start, could she do what happened last year at Worlds in the semifinal and end up third, or could she make up the stat? She could make it up. That's what I feel. It just depends on what kind of a start she gets. But she running up against Shelly and she running up against Julien, and that's not an easy feat. So I'm very interested in seeing how that's going to play out. And then in the third heat, we got Daryll Neita versus TT Terry versus Tia Clayton versus LeDuc. I feel like Daryll Neita is a shoo-in to win this one. TT and Tia and LeDuc, I'm gonna say they're gonna be battling it out, so that's gonna be interesting. But they could have easily had Shelly in that heat or Julien in that heat. But that's what we got for the 100 for the women. I want to quickly talk about this 4x4 mixed relay. I was very upset when I saw that Quincy was not running, because that was the news that broke online yesterday, that he was not going to be running, which is sad because it's like we got him out there, and it's like, what you bring him out there for if you're not going to run him? But baby, the team they put out there on that track today was Vernon Norwood, Shamier Little, Bryce Deadmon, and Kaylyn Brown. Kaylyn Brown, shout out to Kaylyn Brown because she went to school where I went to school, high school. Obviously, she's 19 years old. I'm 29. We weren't in the school at the same time, but she's putting on for Charlotte. She's putting on for Mallard Creek. Vernon ran the first leg. He ran the first leg just like he normally do. Perfect. Got it to Shamier. And Shamier, when it comes to that last 100, Shamier going to let you know you're not catching me. That last 100, she kick. She was out in front, but she really brought that lead and stretched it coming home in that last 100. Leading off to Bryce. Bryce kept that lead going. Once he got that baton to Kaylyn, no. Mama ran that 400 like she was running 100. Like normally, typically you don't really, if you got a lead like that, you really not really trying to push it like that, because she had a nice lead. But she stretched that hoe. when she came around that turn for the last 100, she was probably like, if you're looking at it from 100 straight away, she was at like the 60 mark when they was coming around the turn. That's how big of a lead she gave and broke the world record. They broke the world record. This, in my opinion, should be the finals. I don't feel like we need to substitute anybody off of this. Like, this is the team to go ahead and possibly break that world record again. I loved it. I loved it for Shamier because this is her first Olympics. This is Kaylyn Brown's first Olympics. Like, this is their first team actually at the Olympics. So it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm very excited to see how this turns out for the finals. See who's going to be on them legs. I think that's all I really want to talk about, because the 800, everybody I felt was going to look good. Like Gemma Ricci, she won hers. Keely Hodgkinson won hers. Mary Moore, I think she came like in a close second. No shocks to me, honestly. But that's my thoughts so far for the day. Day 1 in the books. We got the men's 100 tomorrow. That's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for that. They'll be early in the morning. I'm going to be up early in the morning. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to work the schedule, because I work tomorrow, but I'm off all next week. So I'm going to be able to get the videos out a lot quicker and a little bit more concise, where I can actually get my thoughts out, because I'm tired today. But that's my thoughts. Be on the lookout. Like I said, if you got this far and have not already, please thumbs up the video. That helps push the video out and get more people to the channel, because I'm going to be here all week and next week. And yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow. Drop a comment, subscribe if you are new here, turn your post notifications on so you'll be alerted whenever I do post. And I will see y'all tomorrow.